Last orders at the last chance saloon for Crystal Palace then. If they lose today, they are relegated. And they're up against an upwardly mobile West Ham United side who have designs on trying to force their way into the top 5 this season. Finished 11th in the WSL last term, did West Ham, which was their lowest finish in the division. It's their 7th campaign. The highest that they've ever come was 6th under Ollie Harder in 21-22. So Rand Skinner looking to try and make history. It's all the way back to Yanez in the Crystal Palace goal. Palace, who have come into this on the back of 2 consecutive 4-0 defeats, although you have to bear in mind that those losses were against Chelsea and Arsenal. Not exactly the sort of matches that they would be looking at to try and target points. West Ham, at the start of the campaign, might have been one, but as I say, they are in the top half, or pushing for the top half of the table at the very least. Assay's ball in is dangerous. Well, a real scare for Crystal Palace early on. And it's not as if it's a secret weapon that West Ham have got there in the shape of Assay sprinting away, and it was too easy for her to get clear of Anik Nouwen, and too easy to get the ball in too. Palace got off to a flyer against West Ham in the reverse fixture. They were nearly behind inside of a minute this time around. Palace, who were reduced to 10 players in that Wednesday defeat at Chelsea. Alison Swaby showing a straight red card on 47 minutes, which obviously didn't make life easier for them. Martinez just misjudged that. Having lost her way, Martinez is snapping back in. West Ham seeing a lot of the ball early doors. Zadorsky. Tisiak. Now Denton. Tisiak. West Ham come here unbeaten in 5 of their last 6 games, 2 wins and 3 draws in that run. And they're on the move again here. Hanshaw's ball in was handy, and Palace under the pump once again. Should be dealt with eventually by Lily Woodham, but Palace have given it away in a bad area. Ueki, teasing cross. Lexi Potter's lost her way. Another of those that came back into the side after they were unavailable for the Chelsea game due to the loan conditions, and another half-sighted goal for West Ham in the early stages of the game. Well, it was a slip there by Lexi Potter that led to the opportunity for the cross to come in, and Assay at the far stick, lunging but unable to get on the end of it. Scored in the 5-2 home win against Palace in December, the French forward. Club's top scorer this season, 10 goals in 23 appearances, 6 in 18 in the league. Ueki. It's been one-way traffic so far. Ueki felt she was fouled. Kirsty Dowell saw nothing wrong with the challenge. Marissi getting no change. Palace can't get out of their own half for now. Nolan will just let that dribble behind. I mentioned that West Ham come here unbeaten in 5 of their last 6. They've kept 4 WSL clean sheets this season as well, 2 in the last 3 games. And when you see that again, you understand why Ueki felt that Potter was fortunate not to be penalised. Blasted clear by Nouwen. Again, West Ham's press ensuring that Palace lose possession. I say Martinez. No outball for Palace at the moment. Stengel couldn't make that stick. Hanshaw forwards, Asai wide. Now Ueki. Siren. Zadorski. West Ham have worked that nicely. That's a good interception though by Lily Woodham. Now what can Palace do when they've actually got the ball? Woodham's pass is ambitious and is out of play. This is Ryan Skinner's 42nd WSL game as West Ham manager, overtaking Matt Beard as the Hammers coach with the most games managed in the competition, but she does have the worst win rate of any Hammers manager in the WSL, just under 20% so far for her. Now one has to retreat further to Shea Yanez. Well, you can keep up to date with all of the latest news in the world of women's football by signing up to the official newsletter, either by clicking the link on the pinned comments or through the official Barclays Women's Super League website. First touch of the ball for Kinga Zimic in the West Ham goal. Martinez unable to get the wrong side of Hayley Nolan. Nolan has to put it out for a throw. They do have the joint worst away record in the WSL, West Ham United. Just 2 points collected on their travels so far. Leicester also on that tally. But they've got an opening here, perhaps. Pudel going the wrong way, and West Ham retreating further, and it's broken here for Palace. Larissi, was that a foul? Kirsty Dowell says yes, and a yellow card as well. Well, West Ham, understandably, asking about the earlier challenge on Rico Ueki that went unpunished. And Denton collects the first caution of the game. Larissi streaming away the Canadian forward. Still looking for her first goal in English football, the 25-year-old. Showed a clean pair of heels there, and Palace have now earned their first corner kick of the game. Be Millie Giles to take this for Palace. Tossed in by Giles. Oof, and cleared away under a fair degree of pressure by Amber Tisiak. Woodham, who's on loan from Seattle Reign, to take the corner kick. It's a good corner as well. Oh! Rhea Erling got her head to it, but couldn't get over the ball. Good spell this, though, for Palace. And that's another teasing delivery. Viden's pass is off target and straight out, but A couple of sights of the West Ham goal from set pieces for Palace there. Lexi Potter, held up by Ueki. Didn't quite work it out to Vierden. Say that's a good lift forwards for Martinez, who's onside. Shakira Martinez doesn't make the most of the opening. It was a good run. Nobody was picking her up, but she also couldn't pick her spot, the Finnish international. Joined Palace in January from Rosengard, having lifted the league title with them. Came on as a sub in Wednesday's defeat at Chelsea, having not played in the previous 4 games. And that's a big chance for his side. Strong from Hanshaw. Zadorsky. Tisiak. Hanshaw. Useful ball. Oh, Yanez going for it, didn't get there, and Palace get lucky. Well, the American here almost left with egg on her face. She conceded 11 goals in the opening 2 WSL games this season. 4-0 at Spurs and 7-0 at home to Chelsea. Just the 1 clean sheet for her thus far in the 2-0 win at Leicester back in October. And she is hoping to avoid another relegation, having gone down with Bristol City last season, making 7 league starts for them during their campaign that ended in demotion. Stengel chasing and forcing the ball to be put out by Amber Tisiak. Well, there you go. Even Stevens so far, and Palace coming back into it after West Ham nearly monopolised the ball in the very early stages. Well, she led Tottenham to their highest ever WSL finish of 5th in the 21-22 campaign. She was nominated for WSL Manager of the Season during that campaign. And if she could guide West Ham to 5th place, then she would certainly be in the mix for another nomination, you'd have thought. Vierden couldn't make contact, so it's tidied up by Hanshaw. Zadorsky. Say, oh, she chopped down there. She's gone to ground. It was Ria Erling who came flying in. Well, looks a foul to me. And West Ham haven't made the most of the set-piece opportunity. Martinez couldn't control. Gorry. Hanshaw. Well, you could see what she was trying to do, but so could the Palace backline. Hanshaw has it again. Zadorsky. Palace suffering 10 defeats in their last 12 games. Their only victory in the last 16, 3-1 at home to Aston Villa back in March. Just their second ever WSL success. Going along with the historic victory against Leicester back in October when Annabelle Blanchard scored both goals. Speaking of goals, that has been the issue for them. Scored the joint fewest in the league this season, 15, same as Leicester have managed so far. You would say that they have had a couple of presentable sights of goal this afternoon, though. Siren. Gorry. That's a nice pass. Here's Hanshaw. Hanshaw's ball in is handy. 1-0. Super ball finished off by Shakira Martinez. It's a thumping header, and it could be a hammer blow for Crystal Palace as well. Well, the German here on point to thump home. She scored both goals in the 2-2 draw away at Chelsea a few weeks ago and has netted in another London derby today, making up for lost time after having to spend the first half of the season on loan at Freiburg. And that, for the German now, is 6 goals in 13 appearances. Well, again, a case of what might have been for Crystal Palace. They see a good aerial chance for Ria Erling come and go, and then Shakira Martinez shows her how to do it. Vidden. Vidden's interested in this and has put enough pressure on to earn Palace a throw. Vidden. So just a reminder that if Palace are beaten, they are down. So as things stand, relegation will be rubber stamped this afternoon. Could be a decisive day for Palace, but it could also be a landmark season for West Ham United. Their highest ever finish was 6th under Ollie Harder in the 21-22 season. They are currently in the as it stands table up to 6th and within a point of Liverpool. Assay. Back from Zadorsky, this is Tisiak. Meanwhile, there is confirmation of what the tail of the tape would be for Crystal Palace. They would be 7 points adrift of safety with only 2 matches left to play if they are beaten here this afternoon. It would give West Ham their first away WSL victory since February of last year. It's been 11 defeats and 3 draws on their travels in the league since. And they could be in business again here. Ueki, and the whistle's gone. Gori towards Martinez, who got her angles wrong. So he was chasing, and there was no flag. They do have really good fluidity up top with Ueki, Martinez and Asai. Palace struggling to cope, and they almost came a cropper there as Ueki made an intelligent run through the middle. Stengel. Yanez. Midway through the first half, Palace behind after a really well-worked West Ham goal. And that's a pretty aimless punt forwards for Simic to collect and then get out to Zadorsky. Hanshaw, who's been a handful down this left, and Palace have struggled to cope, and Ueki is chasing this, and Yanez gets there. Well, she wanted to get the ball out quickly, but there was no option for her. Palace conceding once again. The worst defence in the WSL. That's now 52 that they have let in, which coming into the weekend, they had let in 11 more than the next worst defence. Only Yeovil Town had conceded 50 or more in the WSL in fewer matches than Palace have. Virden wasn't the worst ball in the world. Larissi. Oh, good try! Great save! And then the rebound wide from Katie Stengel. Oh, Crystal Palace should really be level, and doesn't she know it? Well, Larissi did really well. It's an excellent cross, and it's not a bad try, to be fair to Katie Stengel. It's just excellent goalkeeping from Kinga Zemic to get down and parry. But then on the rebound, Stengel will be furious with herself. Oh, didn't have her shooting boots on there, Stengel. They have failed to score in 6 of their 9 home matches in the WSL this season, Palace. Should have found the net there. That's a free kick. Erling. Virden. Palace have conceded the most goals and also the most first-half goals in the WSL this season. That's 23 now before the interval. But they're on the attack here. And Stengel looking for some support. Erling. It's a handy cross, but nobody in red and blue attacking it. She'll be entitled to wonder why that is. Well, Leif Smurad said that Palace have nothing to lose today. Said that everyone can read and they can see the table. They have to get the points, so they may as well go all in. Won just 2 of their 19 games so far this season. He says that the threat of relegation has felt real for some players for a long time, but they're focusing on what they can control. Hanshaw. It's a good interception from Carto, but doesn't break Palace's way. Let's put it into context that Palace are playing in the top division of women's football for the first ever time. Won the championship title last season under Laura Kaminski. And they were playing 4th tier football as recently as the 2015-16 season, so it's been a sharp ascent for them. Say hasn't kept that in. Well, they crumbled a bit, Palace, against Chelsea at Kingsmeadow in the week. Fell behind midway through the first half and were 3 down just after the interval. And also down to 10 players as well after Swaby's dismissal. They're sticking at it at the moment, and they've fashioned the better chances since the opening goal. That's a risky pass. And Vidden has ensured that they have to go all the way back to their keeper. Hanshaw. Assay, that's a good roll. And Erling trying to tug her back, won't be able to do so. That should be the keeper's ball, and there is Shea Yanez. Mikato. Here is Vidden. And she doesn't get the foul she was hoping for. She is the club's top scorer in all competitions with 6. But Blanchard and Stengel are the joint top WSL scorers for Palace with 3 apiece. Clip forwards by Gorry. Vidden. Here's Vidden. Vidden still going. And that's a useful pass. In from Gile, but nowhere near a teammate. Recycled by Nolan. It's a really good, strong block from Siren. And now it's Martinez. She's got support up there. Assay has gone for it. But the radar not quite working. Well, the French forward fancied this, didn't she? She is their top scorer this season, 10 goals in 23 appearances, but unable to add to it there. She's also been a handy provider this season. I see that she has provided 5 assists. Only Manchester City's Mary Fowler and Manchester United's Céline Bizet have more assists this season. Half an hour gone then, and Palace heading for the drop. Zadorsky, Hanshaw, well, finishing in the top 5 is a realistic aim for West Ham. Ryan Skinner's played down talk about them being able to break into the top 4, despite their recent success against the division's leading sides. Unbeaten in their past 4 WSL games, draws against the leaders Chelsea, 3rd place Manchester United and Manchester City, who are in 4th. So they showed what they're capable of during those games, but they've got to deliver that against the teams that are in and around them, and certainly those that are a long way below them, like Palace. Stengel. Oh, that's short. And collected by Virden. Ambitious. Well, you can certainly see what Ashley Virden was aiming for, the Dutch international. She's the only Palace player to play in every single game so far this season, and while she's netted 6 overall, it's just 2 in the WSL for the free transfer from Ajax last summer. Tisiak. Erling. Nolan. Hanshaw dispossessing Virden. Siren. Stengel's pass. Oh, that's poor from Larissi. Palace's remaining games are home to Leicester, who they did beat away from home. Their first ever win in the WSL came away to the Foxes, and then they finished things off with a very tough trip to Manchester City on the 10th of May. Well, Woodham eventually felled after a couple of West Ham players had a nibble. Oh, still not fully away. Veerden. Not the worst ball in the world, but still unable to find a teammate. Well, he wasn't in charge for all of them, but Palace have lost their last 7 WSL London derbies by an aggregate score of 32-4, shipping at least 3 goals in each of those defeats. On the balance of play, they may feel that they're deserving of parity in this one, though. As you can see, Palace with more shots, and it's 1 each when it comes to efforts on target. But as they have learnt throughout the course of this debut campaign in the WSL, you simply cannot afford not to take your chances. Giles for Stengel. Will she manufacture a chance here? She might not. Oh, Veerden! Another huge chance comes and goes for Palace. Asai, he went down briefly, is now back up. Hanshaw back to Zadorsky. Palace have had the chances, West Ham have the goal though. And if it is a 7th defeat in their last 8 games in all competitions for Palace, then they are relegated today. Gorry. Well, she won't want to see this back. But if Palace are looking for positives, it is that they are carving out chances. Asai. Hanshaw, the provider for the first goal, can't find a teammate with that cross. Veerden brings it down. Gorry on her shoulder, and she shuffles it across to Stengel, but too much pace on the pass. Just the 1 win for him so far. Leif Smurud, 6 games, 1 success and 5 defeats in all competitions. And he was previously at the Norwegian Football Association for 9 years until 2023. Well, that's a robust challenge. Certainly, Millie Jar wanted to let Asai know that she was there in no uncertain terms. Hanshaw. Siren was dispossessed, but helps to win it back. Poubel struggled to really make an impact in the game as Serena Poubel. Too much on that for Hanshaw. Well, it was Palace who took the lead when the sides met back in December. 5-2 success against the then Laura Kaminski managed Crystal Palace. Pretty different Palace lineup today compared to that game in December, whereas West Ham are relatively similar. In from Woodham, straight to Hanshaw. Nice touch. Now pouring forwards here, West Ham. Gorry, Martinez. Alarm bells ringing for Palace here. Martinez, 2-0. Absolutely ruthless from West Ham United. Shakira Martinez on target again. Well, Palace didn't take their chances. West Ham have gobbled up theirs, and relegation is edging ever closer for the Eagles, and fifth place is very much on the horizon for the Hammers. Too easy for Gorry to gallop forwards. Martinez still had a lot to do. Cut inside, though, of Nolan easily, and then produced an inch-perfect finish. Lethal. And that is the difference between the two sides. Clinical from West Ham, wasteful from Crystal Palace. Palace 0, West Ham 2. It's a crushing one for Palace just before the interval as well. In a half of football where they have matched West Ham generally, apart from inside the opposition's penalty area. Well, credit to the Palace fans who are still doing their best to make a racket and get behind those in red and blue, but it is looking like being a relegation rubber stamping afternoon for the Eagles. So West Ham would be up to 6th in the table and within striking distance of Liverpool. Their final two games are against Aston Villa and Leicester, who are 2nd and 3rd from bottom in the standings, so very much winnable. And they could be in for another here. Martinez for the hat-trick, and she's got it. And West Ham are running riot now. 3-0 up. Martinez with a treble. And Palace are going down with a whimper now. Well, make it up for lost time. Had to spend the first half of the season away on loan. Her and Ueki both springing the offside trap. It was Martinez who then rounded the keeper and has rounded off the game already, you feel. Struggled to see a way back for Palace now. That is 8 goals in 10 WSL games for the German now, and she has been utterly ruthless today. Kato. Well, 2 successive 4-0 defeats and 3-0 down in first half stoppage time today, Palace. Nolan. Now, Woodham. Stengel. Well, West Ham heading up to 6th, Crystal Palace heading down. Defeat means relegation. So Palace have made a change as well, with Vey coming on. We will confirm those changes for you. Vey and Larkin have both come on for Palace, with Cato and Larissi heading off, as is Lexi Potter. That was an early sighter for Rico Ueki. 3 changes made at the break then to try and fight back from this 3-0 deficit that they are faced with. Well, we've seen 4 changes from Palace at the interval as Stengel tries to wriggle her way through. Vey and Larkin, 2 of those to come on. And we've also seen Green and Arthur introduced as well, with Woodham, Potter, Cato and Larissi, the players to depart. On West Ham change, the captain Gori goes off and Vinyas Dottir is on. Ueki's waiting in the middle. The cross was deflected and made it tricky for Shea Yanez, who readjusted well. Vey. Vey again. Oof. Blocked behind by Zimic. It wasn't the easiest for the Polish keeper there. Well worked down that flank. Disappointing corner. Say able to clear at the near stick. That's a good-looking ball in. Palace didn't really gamble. Oh, was that a handball? Kirsty Dowell not minded to give anything. Larkin will give chase. Larkin and Faye down this left-hand side have had a couple of moments of note already. Well, the arm was certainly out, wasn't it? Anouk Denton, who's also already on a yellow card, escaping perhaps there. It's a foul on Ueki. His pass was a bit careless, and Martinez, who's already got a hat-trick, was quickly onto it. Yanez gets it away. Good turn that by Ueki. Martinez wants it again. Ueki bypasses her. Poubelle. Oh! Palace get lucky. Asai unfortunate not to get in on the act herself here. It's a really teasing ball in, and I think that Yanez got a piece of it with her gloves, which might have just taken it out of the path of the run of Viviane Asai. Tisiak. It's cut out quite easily by Larkin. Giles then lost her way. Pop wide by Zadorsky. Here's Hanshaw. Ueki. Pignard Dottir. Say giving chase. It's a good surge forwards from Josie Green. Stengel looked like she just overran it. She's put the pressure on there, and who did that come off last? And it didn't go wide by much, did it? More of a challenge than anything else that then sent it skewing just wide of the goal. Plenty going on in the world of women's football, and to keep up to date with all of the latest news, make sure you've signed up to the official newsletter. You can do so by clicking the link on the pinned comments or through the official Barclays Women's Super League website. Pubel, Ueki, Vey. Palace making those 4 changes at the interval. There can be a bit of a lack of cohesion at times, but they've looked pretty good so far, and Virden has fed Larkin here. Larkin forced to go the long way round. Here she is again. Vey. Ashley Virden. Vey. Palace popping it around nicely, but there's no end product. Martinez was nearly away again. This is Larkin. Vey. Good surge. Useful looking cross as well. Virden's hit. Yet again, Palace see a chance come and go. Vey was firmly involved as she helped to create the opportunity. 50th WSL career appearance for Katrina Vey, the 33-year-old Danish defender. And it's even Stevens at shots, but Palace with only 1 on target. West Ham scoring with 3 of the 4 that they've got on target. Virden. Virden blocks again, but it will be a goal kick. Well, he said that they have felt that relegation was looming for a while. He did want them to go all out today in their bid to avoid it happening in this game. Sounds strange to say, but they haven't played too badly despite trailing 3-0. Well, it's a yellow card. And you can see the surprise on the face of Anik Nouwen about the award of that caution. Just jostling for the ball there, but a card for the Chelsea loanee. Denton. It should have been controlled better by Josie Green, and Assays quickly onto this. Assays ball in. Martinez full of confidence, having a dip from distance there. Miss kick from Erling. Erling's lost out. This is Martinez now. Martinez with the whip. Katrina Vey. Larkin flags up. Another WSL London Derby defeat for Palace. It would be 8 in a row, and the aggregate score currently stands at 35-4. And they have let in at least 3 goals in all of those defeats. Simic forwards. Ueki's after this, the keeper's off her line, but there's not enough loft on it from Rico Ueki to turn that to her advantage. Well, I say that Palace have been competitive today. What has let them down is defending like that. Just one long ball through the middle, and West Ham are through on goal. Assay didn't miss by much. Vivienne Assay is desperate for a goal today. She's seen Martinez bag a hat-trick, and she made this all on her own, didn't she? Curling, but just not quite enough to her massive disappointment. Given away to Ueki, and Martinez, angle's tough. And that's a dramatic tumble that won't get anything. Into the final half an hour of the game then, and into the final half an hour of Crystal Palace's WSL hopes of survival. And Skinner, in his very comfortable position, is able to make further changes. Fate. Assay. Oh, Martinez, is she onside? Looks like it. Oh, and it's another 4 for Shakira Martinez. This has been a masterclass from the German. Well, Palace insistent that she was offside. It looked like it at first glance. There was no flag, and there was no doubting the quality of the finish from Shakira Martinez here. Well, it's close. Nolan seemed to have played her on, and Martinez is absolutely clinical again. Just doesn't pass up a chance, does she? And Palace find themselves 4-0 down once again. They've lost their last 2 matches by that scoreline, and it could get worse for them, given that we still have half an hour to play. Vidden, here's Stengel. Palace still battling gamely. One thing you would say is their heads haven't dropped. Stengel waiting. Leathered back into the area. West Ham have made another change. Kirsty Smith has come on, the 31-year-old Scottish defender. Made her 50th WSL appearance for West Ham earlier on this year against Chelsea, and she's come on for Anouk Denton. Well, what a talent she is, and what a finisher she is. All of them have been rounded off in very different ways. That thumping header, the turn inside, and then the bend into the far corner, then rounding the goalkeeper, and then that one as well. As I say, it has been an absolute clinic put on by Martinez. 23 years of age, 9 goals in 13 games now. She's almost at a goal a game in the WSL. That is 9 in 10 appearances in the league for her. Only made her debut in the defeat to Chelsea in January. As I say, making up for lost time after her arrival from Eintracht Frankfurt last summer. She was loaned to Freiburg for the first half of the season in Germany to ensure that she accumulated the required points to meet the governing body endorsement criteria for international player visas, and she's away again here. Angle's tough. Will it matter? Oh, unselfishly done. And Palace scramble enough bodies back to prevent West Ham hitting 5. Well, dispossessed, there's no foul. It could be 5, and should be 5, really. It was casual there from Chloe Arthur, and very nearly costly. This was the run from Martinez, and this time she tried to be the provider, but didn't quite come off. Well, it's looking good for West Ham United, not just in terms of points, but their goal difference is becoming very healthy indeed, and it's much better than Liverpool's is. So if that goes to the wire, the battle for 5th spot, that could be a big advantage for them. They are moving up at least 1 place today, up to 6th in the table. And remember, 6th is the best ever finish that the club have managed in the WSL. So Ryan Skinner already on course to make a notable impact at the helm. It's a handball. And where do Palace go from here? They obviously made a change of coach back in March when Leif Smurd was appointed after the departure of Laura Kaminski. And back to the Championship. They'll have learnt lessons, but you wonder how many of these players will still be at the club next season. Obviously losing the likes of the loanees that they brought in from Chelsea, for example. Made some pretty high-profile acquisitions. A lot of them will still feel that they want to play at the highest level. Martinez has turned into traffic. He's snapping back. Here's Nouwen. Vierden, who's been a game runner all afternoon, has got there first and has weaved it across here to Katrina Vey, who's lifted it in handily. That's an important touch from Zadorsky to send it behind. Well, the keeper claims it's going to be a first away win of the season for West Ham in the WSL. First away win, full stop, since February of last year. 14 WSL matches on the road without a success up until today, losing 11 of them. They and Leicester, the only teams in the division without a win up until today on their travels. And they go to Leicester on the final day of the season. They are thumping the bottom club in the league at the moment, and their remaining two fixtures against the sides who are second and third from bottom, so they will feel maximum points from their last two games is a very realistic possibility, and fifth place becomes a very realistic possibility as a result of that. They want to keep a clean sheet today, though. Stengel, just a bit too much elevation on it. Ueki. This is Vivienne Assey. And there's again lots of room for West Ham to work with here. Assey's gone for goal! Sensational! Well, Martinez might have 4 to her name, but Vivienne Assey has got the pick of the bunch. They are certainly blowing bubbles. 5 up and 5 stars for Vivienne Assey for that finish. She was given so much room to work with here, had a look up and picked her spot perfectly. That is some strike. The vision and the execution are absolutely first class. And West Ham are 5-0 up at Palace. Well, the top scorer for the Hammers this season, that is now 11 in all competitions, 7 in 19 in the WSL for her. There'll be no more for Shakira Martinez today, though. She is going to depart. Tiziak is also being withdrawn with the game. Won a long time ago. I don't think there's any doubt as to who the player of the match is going to be. Well, almost a chance for Adam Louis, having just come on. Harry's the other brought on in that double change, with Tiziak and Martinez going off. Assey. Well, this time not quite the same quality with the hit. Well, she won't get tired of seeing that back, will she? It was a triple change, in fact, for West Ham, with Thayes, Harries and Ademiloui, the trio introduced. Off are Pubel, Martinez and Tiziak. Well, the Palace fans keep on going, showing their support for the players who have battled gamely, but the quality has been lacking at both ends. they will be relegated today. Well, tough run of games that they are on. Thumping consecutive defeats for the Palace women's side. Louis was loitering, so was Harries. Now, look at that from Ueki getting back to help tidy things up. Well, there is confirmation of Crystal Palace's demise. They will be 7 points adrift of safety with only 6 points left to play for. So Leicester City and Aston Villa will both have their safety secured today as a result of this thumping win for West Ham. Palace gave themselves hope, didn't they, with that 3-1 success against Aston Villa. But after that 3-0 loss to Everton, 4-0 against Arsenal, 4-0 against Chelsea, and 5-0 down to West Ham today. That is where it has all gone wrong for the Eagles. West Ham's impressive form will continue, although Veerden trying to give Palace something to shout about. Safely gathered by Zimic. Well, she's had her opportunities today, but she's been shown how to convert them by West Ham's 4-goal hero, Shakira Martinez. Adema Louis. Given away to Larkin. Green. There's the meat in a West Ham sandwich there and gets the free kick. Cut out by Smith. Looked like a foul to me. Play's gone on though. Hidden. Sengel round the corner. Vey. Corner. Well, they've stuck by them throughout, and they're sticking around despite knowing what is coming at full time. Fifth corner of the game for Palace. West Ham yet to have one. Well met by Ueki. Oh, good try. And dive to the turf, but the flag was up anyway, so any appeals from Arthur for a spot kick are in vain. So Paige Riley on for Palace. Erling is withdrawn. Has finished 2-2 meanwhile between Liverpool and Spurs in the earlier kick-off today, which means West Ham will be within 2 points of fifth place Liverpool after this victory, with both of those clubs having 2 games left to play, and West Ham with a vastly superior goal difference. That's another reason why they'll be keen to keep a clean sheet, but they've given away a penalty late on. Well, she's only just come on, and she's helped to win a spot kick. It's not going to change the outcome of the game, but it is going to give Palace some cause for cheer as they get set to bid farewell to the WSL. Katie Stengel will take it. Passed up that big chance in the first half. Katie Stengel for Crystal Palace scores. They are on the board, and the fans have something to celebrate, albeit in pretty bleak circumstances. Her 4th goal of the season in the WSL for Palace, their top scorer in the league this term. Had failed to score in 6 of their 9 WSL games at home prior to today, but have netted this afternoon at the very least. Came into this, in fact, as the side that had failed to score in the most WSL games this season. 10 games that they've drawn a blank in, and the joint fewest scorers overall in the division. They are now 1 ahead of Leicester City in that regard, with that their 16th that they have bagged during the campaign. And it was 5-2 to West Ham in the reverse fixture, 5-1 now to the Hammers this afternoon. Can Palace make it 5-2? Vey still going. Martin just lost her way, and then loses possession by virtue of giving away a free kick. Stengel, 33 years of age now. She is vastly experienced, given the captain's armband. She scored in Liverpool's 2-0 WSL home win against West Ham back in late 2022. All 4 of her goals for Palace have come in the league. She scored her first Palace goal in the draw at her former club Liverpool in October. Kirsty Smith. And Louise after this. And it's safely back with Shea Yanez. So Ryan Skinner, on a historic day for her, is going to toast a very healthy victory here at Crystal Palace. Her 42nd WSL game as the West Ham boss, which sees her overtake Matt Beard as the Hammers coach with most games managed in the competition. It will improve her win rate as well, which currently is the worst of any West Ham manager in the division. Nearly given away there, and still not the most convincing from Shea Yanez. Tough afternoon for her. Tough campaign, really, for the American, who is going to be relegated in successive WSL campaigns. Went down with Bristol City last season. Smith. More heavy touch, which nearly caused some problems for Palace there. Stengel. Nowen. Vey. Vidden. I say, Ueki. Now Harries. Oh! West Ham 5 clear once again. And it's another excellent goal. This time Emma Harries. Her first WSL goal for West Ham United is one to Sabre. Shifted it really well. The angle was tough, but look at that for a finish. Arced over the top of Yanez and in. And Palace hit for 6. Harry's first WSL goal since she scored for Reading against Brighton back in March of 2023. Yanez goes short. Nolan. Vey. Well, the West Ham fans singing, "We want 7." Palace did ship 7 at home to Chelsea at the beginning of the campaign. They might get a chance to nab a 7th here. There's been no let-up from them, has there, West Ham, despite the game being won a long time ago. Harry's making the offer. Say. So it will be 5 games unbeaten for West Ham, 2 wins and 3 draws. First time that they will have had a 5-game unbeaten run in the WSL since early 2022. comprehensive success on the road, having only picked up 2 points all season on their travels until today. And looking to add further gloss to the scoreline, but down gets Yanez to prevent number 7. And it's all about the number 19 for West Ham United today, Shakira Martinez, the standout star with 4 brilliantly taken goals. Last minute of the 90 then, as Palace get set to have their relegation rubber stamped, but they do have a corner. Taken quickly. Vidden. No obvious avenue for her. Oof, and that wasn't far away. We're going to have a minimum of 5 added minutes as the reality sets in for Crystal Palace. You can see the Woodham and co know what is coming in a few minutes' time. Looked like a foul to me, and no advantage garnered, so Palace will get the free kick. Dottier has collected a yellow card in the dying embers of the game for West Ham. And they do win, West Ham. They do tend to win big. 4 of their 5 wins before today have been by a 2-goal margin or more. And they've been rampant up top today. Will be just a second WSL away win since October 2023. The sole success in that period between then and now, 2-1 at Bristol City last season, who were relegated, and it's another relegated side that they are putting to the sword today. West Ham at home to Villa and then away to Leicester to round things off. Palace have another home game to come with Leicester City, the visitors, next weekend. And then they round things off and say farewell to the WSL with a trip to Manchester City, who are unlikely to be able to claw their way into the top 3 in Champions League football next season. Oh, good try and a fairly decent save there, patted away by Zimic. Stengel No foul. Vey. Still Vey. Harries. Adema Louis after this, and she's got the pace to get clear. Adema Louis for number 7. Good save. Still alive though, and Yanez has lost it, and there will be number 7. Harries is there. Adema Louis couldn't finish the job. But Emma Harries, who'd not scored in the WSL for West Ham before, has bagged 2 after coming on from the bench. 7th heaven for West Ham United. And it has been a horrid afternoon for Crystal Palace, with their relegation sealed in pretty devastating fashion. Adema Louis kept on going after the initial effort was parried, and Palace just let Harries slip away. Palace in for 7 at home again. Chelsea did so to them at the start of the campaign, and their penultimate home game is finishing in similar disappointing fashion. Crystal Palace are relegated from the WSL.